This race I did this past weekend, which was challenging, showed me that I'm still improving compared to last year. But it was also very telling for me. Hey cycling community, this is Steve, Grusis Cycling Greek. It told me that I have not been very consistent with my upper end training. In fact, even haphazard at times. So in an effort to change that, I did a team-oriented upper intensity workout that you'll be seeing in just a moment that you can also do with your teammates and or training partners. Now, I'm going to go do a VO2 max based over-under workout on a climb. I'll see you at the end of the video.
After warm-up lap, we're about to start our first interval. We're going to be racing from point A to point B. And for those of you familiar with the Mark Tucker YouTube channel, this is a Pumpkin Valley Circuit course, where every Wednesday early evening during the race season, there's a practice race. Both Natalia and I planned to join today, but today's edition was canceled because there was a ride for silence going on at the same time. So we decided to come out here earlier, do this workout that I had designed, and then go join the Ride of Silence. If you are not familiar, the Ride of Silence is to remember and honor those cyclists that have been killed by motorists locally. Okay, to the workout. Now, point A to point B. Point A is right before that 180-degree turn that you saw. We're going up this climb, and this climb is not short, not long, but it's enough to make you hurt, and it certainly does it to me. And after that, there's flats on the other end, and it takes you all the way to the end of the eucalyptus grove. After the finish, we regroup, and then we start doing 10-second pulls, all the way until we almost hit the 180-degree turn, where we start the next round. Joining Natalia and myself on this workout is Nathan. Nathan is 52, a fairly good climber, but real strong on the flats, where he'll make up being challenged for the climbing portion. The climb is home for 30-year-old Natalia, who comes in at 111 pounds. She does quite well on the flats too, as she has a big engine. That leaves 68-year-old me. Now you can see why I said what I said in my intro. I need this type of work and with better people to improve, and today I have both. Even though I said Nathan was a fair climber, he's got a lot of power and a lot of punch. He used it, and he went away solo and took the first round. But not without keeping an eye on Natalia. He had to keep the pressure up because she was coming in fast. Me? Well, you see where I am. After regrouping and doing our 10-second pulls, we start round 2. Now, this time I'm a little more warmed up. Natalia is not punching it like she was before, and Nathan is sticking on my wheel. My plan is to stick on her wheel, then come around her toward the top. Well, that's my plan. So those 10-second pulls we were doing around the other end to start the next round, those hurt. Those are important to do, and those hurt. More on those later. So we've already started climbing, but where the eucalyptus is, actually where the shade is over there, that's where it starts to kick up a little more. Where I was doing just below 300 to into the 400s to stay on her wheel, now I'm in the 400s and 500s to stay on her wheel. Now she's starting to punch it. I don't know how long I'm going to last. Actually, I'm going to last about this long. She just goes away from me. Now, Nathan's in back hurting. So I'm hoping that I can grab onto his wheel when he goes by. That will be practicing recovery under stress, especially if I'm able to hang on to his wheel. So here he comes. I'm going to just stick behind him, at least that's my intent. I'm staying in the mid to high 400s, trying to be glued to his wheel as he is trying to catch Natalia. My heart rate is now about 157. My max now is about 164, and so when I hit 160, anything can happen, and anything means that I can just die off. I'm now at 159. It's not flat, but it's eased up. You would think that would mean it would be easier, but it's not, because I'm on Nathan's wheel, and Nathan is strong. So he keeps on pushing it, which means I have to push it. It's no easy ride. Still at 159. The temperature is registering at 90 degrees. Thank goodness there's a bit of shade here. With my watts on the 200s, you'd think I'd be having an easy time, but basically my legs are getting loaded and then I just die out. Now it doesn't look like he's caught her yet, but he's just about to catch her. And right before the line, he's able to jump her. Albeit for different reasons, this was a good round for each of us. Recall when I mentioned the 10-second pulls between each of the rounds. As the workout wore on, that was killing me. I was starting to do less. Natalia was starting to do less. Nathan, maybe as more of a handicap, was doing more. We're entering the third time up pretty much in the same order. Natalia is going just a little bit slower, which I appreciate coming into the climb. Nathan is right on my wheel, and we all know that things are going to start hurting when we hit the shade. We started this workout at 4:30, so we're pretty much hitting the hottest part of the day, so 90 is going to be as hot as it's going to get. As evidence of heat adaptation, I noticed that while it was hot, I didn't feel the heat affecting me during this workout. Certainly not like I felt it at the race this past Saturday where we were racing in 86-degree heat. Unlike last lap where I was thinking I could stay on her wheel and then jump her toward the top, I'm just now concentrated on staying on her wheel. Now she gets up and starts jumping, and then that's where the distance is going to happen. I'm trying to get back up to her, and that's putting pressure on Nathan. I'm now doing over 500 watts, trying to connect with somebody that weighs 2/3 of what I do and that has a bigger engine than I. And I do. Well, I don't know it at the time. Nathan's a few bike lengths in back of me. Now, if I wanted to sound impressive, I would tell you all that I'm just waiting to go around her and then go for the win. But in actuality, I'm just barely hanging on to her wheel. Nathan is now about a bike length in back of me, and it's starting to ease up, so he's going to recover. All I want to do is just stay connected with them and get to the finish line with them. But nope, my legs had another idea. They've gotten overloaded, and I'm having to slow down. While it looked like Nathan was going to pass her, they're going mano a mano, so to speak. While this is giving Natalia tremendous work, what she needs to do is, I think what she's doing right now, get on Nathan's wheel, let her drag her to the line, and then just jump him. As it turned out, Nathan had sufficient power and made it 3 for 3. Coming into the fourth interval, I only took one pull. Natalia only took one pull. And as we had it, Nathan was pulling us into the start of this next round. Maybe it's those 21 centimeter tires, but I always have a bit of a deficit coming out of this 180-degree turn. So I jump back onto Nathan's wheel, and then Natalia, of course, is jumping onto mine. This time, I thought I'd do things a little different. We're going to do a little bit of teamwork. We're not going to let Nathan, we're going to try and not let Nathan get a fourth win. What you're not able to see here are the hand signals that I'm getting with Natalia. I'm telling her to stick on my wheel, and I'm going to jump in 3, 2, 1, now. My intent is to get distance from Nathan, jump as hard as I can and maintain it with her on my wheel, so then when I die out, she'll jump me and maintain it all the way to the line. Well, that's the plan. Let's see how it works out. I start to die out, and then she goes. You'll notice when I was leading her out, I never got above 625 watts. That could be an old guy thing, or it could be just me. Probably a combination of both. She is way up there, Nathan is way back there, so I'm hoping that by the time he gets around me, I'll be recovered enough and I can stick on his wheel. Right now the grade is 3%. Where Natalia is about where it turns to 1%. I'm hoping that I can get there before he gets to me. If I was a much younger cycling Greek, I could just stick on his wheel as he came by and then ride his wheel in to the finish, or if he was trying to catch her, jump him at the end. But I'm the old cycling Greek. So he sticks her back of me for a little bit, comes by me. I am actually pretty gassed. It's always good to know where your limits are, and I think I just found mine. We have one more to go, and I have no idea how I'm going to do on that one. Well, actually I do. It's just a question of whether this is going to be a good interval for me. Between the intervals, it was pretty much a copy of the last one. I took a pull, Natalia took a pull, Nathan did the rest of the pulling. Come around the 180, and again I sucked. I'm having to use precious banana points to get back onto his wheel. Now I'm thinking that Natalia's thinking that she's going to be again waiting for a hand signal for me to go. I'm not going to do that this time. I am theorizing that Nathan is pulling all this way. This is the 5th lap, that he must be getting pretty tired, and that I'm going to jump him. Of course I'm not going to jump him. I'm not going to be able to jump him. But my mind thinks that, yeah, I can jump this guy. He starts to punch it, and I do what I can to stay with him. She's still waiting for my signal. She's waiting for me to go. She starts moving toward the right as if she's going to pass me up and then pass Nathan up, but then she comes back into my wheel. That's where I die out. She has hit the brakes to keep from rear-ending me. She comes around, and this is the amazing part. She actually catches him, and she jumps him at the end and takes the win. That's 3 for Nathan, 2 for Natalia, and a big zilch for the old guy.
Okay, I'm done with my workout. Glad it's downhill, mostly back. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the workout. That's something you can do with your friends. I was worried about that workout affecting my ride today because I'm old, even though it was 2 days, and it didn't. In fact, who knows, it may have helped. I was able to do 3 sets of VO2 max over-unders, which in this case was 1 minute over in the VO2 max area, which is going to be a minimum 110% of my FTP, and then 2 minutes at the top of sweet spot. And then I would finish with another 1 minute, so I'd be doing 4 VO2 max minutes per set. So I got 12 minutes in. Oh man. After that, I did the fire station wall 30-second bursts. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I did that. I did 6 sets of that, and I was pretty much dying out at the end of the 6th set. And then I finished with a 1 long sprint coming up to the finish. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. As always, remember, and do this, comment, like, subscribe, The Cycling Greek.